The Awakening. Captain Maya Chen stood motionless on the observation deck of Earth's orbital command, her gaze fixed on the holographic display showing the ruins of Helix 9. The research station, humanity's most advanced scientific outpost in the Ta-CD system, was now nothing more than scattered debris and emergency beacons blinking futilely into the void. 342 scientists, engineers, and support staff gone. "Confirm it was the Vex," she said, her voice tight but controlled. Lieutenant Cato nodded beside her. "Their energy signatures are unmistakable. They're claiming it was a regrettable navigation error. Said they mistook our station for an unauthorized mining operation." Maya's hands curled into fists. The Vex hegemony knew exactly what they had destroyed. This wasn't the first error aliens had made at humanity's expense, but Maya had a feeling it would be the last. "The Galactic Conclave is convening an emergency session," Kaido continued. "They're sending their deepest regrets and promising a thorough investigation." Maya finished, her voice cold steel. "Like the last 23 investigations. How many ended with actual consequences for anyone but us?" The Galactic Conclave, an alliance of 42 spacefaring civilizations, had welcomed humanity into its ranks 90 years ago, when Earth's first interstellar probe had accidentally encountered a Mithridian survey vessel. The speeches had been grand, full of promises about cooperation and shared prosperity. The reality had been far different. Human technology was deemed primitive, human concerns provincial, and human territories negotiable, while ancient species like the Vex, Mithridians, and Ontari controlled vast swaths of the galaxy. Humans were confined to their solar system and a handful of nearby stars, treated as upstarts who should be grateful for whatever scraps fell from the Conclave's table. Maya's comm unit beeped, a secure message from Earth Command. Her heart raced when she saw the clearance level. UMBR, the highest classification possible. "Return to Earth immediately," she read. Kronos protocol activated. After decades of humiliation, Earth had finally had enough. "Set course for Earth," she ordered. "Maximum speed." The journey back was tense. Maya spent most of it reviewing data files in her quarters, reports of previous incidents, diplomatic communications that led nowhere, statistics on human losses due to alien negligence or outright hostility. The pattern was painfully clear. When the Mithridians had accidentally harvested resources from an asteroid belt designated for human development, the Conclave had issued a mild reprimand. When Ontari merchants had stolen classified human technology, the case had been dismissed for lack of evidence. When the Vex had restricted human colonial expansion under false pretenses, the Conclave had sided with the Vex. The shuttle approached Earth, the blue-green planet growing larger in the viewports. From orbit, Maya could see the massive atmospheric processors still working to repair the damage from the tariff incident 50 years ago, when an alien freighter had crashed into the Pacific, nearly triggering catastrophic climate change. That disaster had prompted humanity to join the galactic community, but not as equals. Never as equals. The shuttle landed at the Beijing spaceport, where a transport was already waiting. Within minutes, Maya was speeding toward the underground complex that housed Earth's Defense Council. Guards checked her credentials and escorted her through layers of security. Admiral Santiago met her in the antechamber, his expression grim but determined. "Captain Chen," he acknowledged with a nod. "You witnessed the Helix 9 attack." "I saw the aftermath, sir. No survivors." Santiago's expression hardened. "The Vex ambassador has sent another communication. They regret the unfortunate incident and suggest that perhaps our station's research activities were perceived as a threat." Maya felt her anger rising again. "That's absolutely false. Helix 9 was conducting xenobiological studies. We have the records." "We all know that." Santiago cut her off. "That's why we're here today." He gestured toward heavy doors leading to the council chamber. "For 90 years, we've played by their rules. We've been patient. We've been diplomatic. We've swallowed our pride while they treated us like children. He paused, meeting her eyes. That ends today. The doors swung open, revealing a circular room filled with Earth's highest military and political leaders. The mood was solemn but charged with energy. Maya noticed several stations around the table displayed technical schematics she didn't recognize, weapon systems, perhaps, or defensive technologies that had been kept secret. "What you're about to hear doesn't leave this room," Santiago told her as they entered. "But I wanted you here. You've seen firsthand what their arrogance has cost us." As they took their seats, the council chairperson, Director Eleni Kostakis, stood. The room fell silent. "Today," she announced, "we implement Operation Starfall. May history remember that we tried patience first." The massive screen at the front of the chamber activated, showing a secure feed from a location Maya didn't recognize. The image revealed an enormous underground facility stretching for kilometers. Within it stood hundreds of ships. Advanced warships lined up in perfect rows, their hulls gleaming under harsh lights. "Phobos shipyards," Santiago explained quietly. "One of 23 such facilities we've built throughout the solar system over the past 30 years. Maya stared in disbelief. None of these vessels appeared in any registry shared with the Galactic Conclave. None of them officially existed. While presenting ourselves as struggling with basic spacefaring technology, Director Kostakis continued, "We have been building the most advanced fleet in the sector. The Prometheus drive, quantum shielding, gravity manipulation technology, all developments we've kept hidden while facing the Conclave's condescension." Another screen activated, showing orbital platforms surrounding Earth and its colonies. "Project Aegis," said a scientist Maya didn't recognize. "A planetary shield system that can be deployed within minutes. Technology the Conclave believes is centuries beyond human capability." "And the piece de resistance," Santiago added, his voice tight with controlled pride. He nodded to a technician who brought up schematics for what appeared to be a propulsion system. "The Hermes drive," he explained. "It can traverse the distance between Earth and Ta City in under 12 hours instead of the standard 3 weeks. Maya's mind reeled. Humanity had been playing weak while building strength. The aliens believed humans lacked certain technical capabilities, a misconception carefully cultivated through misinformation and staged failures. When human scientists had developed quantum shielding, they had publicly announced a failed attempt at basic deflector technology. When the Prometheus drive was first tested, they had disguised it as an explosion in a remote research facility. Each time humans made a leap forward, they hid it behind a facade of struggles and setbacks. "The deception has served its purpose," Kostakis said, addressing the entire chamber. "But now it's time to show our true capabilities." Admiral Santiago called up footage from the Helix 9 attack on a secondary screen. The station's final moments played out silently. The Vex warships opening fire without warning, the desperate evacuation attempts, the final explosion as the station's core went critical. "This is why we're here," he reminded them. "This is why we've prepared." He turned to address the assembled leaders. "For 90 years, we have endured dismissal, negligence, and condescension from the Galactic Conclave. For 30 of those years, we have been preparing for the day when patience would no longer be an option." His voice carried throughout the room without shouting. "That day has come. 342 human lives were lost because our warnings about Vex aggression were ignored. We will not allow such a tragedy to happen again." He brought up images of 3 targets on the main display. "Operation Starfall begins in 18 hours, he announced. "Coordinates for all 3 phases have been transmitted to your secure channels." The room was absolutely silent as he continued. "Remember, this is not war. This is revision of terms. We will demonstrate our strength without causing unnecessary harm. We will show the galaxy that humanity is not to be underestimated, but we will do so with precision and restraint." He looked at the faces around him, determined, ready, committed. "Any questions?" When none came, he nodded sharply. "To your stations. The time for hiding our capabilities is over." As the commanders dispersed, Santiago approached Maya. Captain Chen. Permission to join the operation, sir. Granted, he replied. You'll command the Vex demonstration. Your experience with the Helix 9 attack makes you uniquely qualified. Maya nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. In less than a day, humanity would reveal its true face to the galaxy, not with blind aggression, but with calculated demonstration, not with revenge, but with a clear message. The Conclave had mistaken patience for weakness. They were about to discover just how wrong they had been. The Reckoning. The HFS Vindicator materialized at the edge of the Vex home system, accompanied by 7 other warships, all products of humanity's secret shipyards. Captain Maya Chen stood on the bridge, watching the Vex defense platforms grow larger on the main screen. A series of artificial moons orbited the Vex homeworld, each bristling with weapon emplacements. Vex Defense Command is hailing us, reported Communications Officer Dias. They're demanding our immediate withdrawal. No response yet, Maya ordered. Maintain position and activate passive scans. Scans indicate 32 defense platforms and 19 patrol vessels, announced Tactical Officer Raman. They're mobilizing their fleet. Weapon systems charging. Maya nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. For years, the Vex had expanded their territory unchecked, bullying smaller species and dismissing human concerns. The attack on Helix 9 had been merely their latest transgression. All ships report ready, Captain, said Executive Officer Park from the tactical station. Quantum shields at full capacity. Vex vessels approaching, Raman reported. They're launching fighters. 80 small attack craft swarmed toward the human fleet, their formation suggesting absolute confidence. After all, everyone knew human military technology was inferior, primitive compared to the ancient species of the galaxy. Let them come, Maya said calmly. Wait until they're in range of all 8 ships. The Vex fighters accelerated, weapons charging. They clearly expected the human ships to retreat or be easily overwhelmed. They're in position, Raman announced. Deploy gravity nets, Maya ordered. Invisible fields of concentrated gravity erupted from the human ships, precisely targeted. On the screen, the Vex vessels suddenly slowed, then stopped completely. They hung motionless in space, caught like insects in amber. Gravity containment successful, Raman reported, surprise evident in his voice, despite his professional demeanor. All Vex ships immobilized. Maya opened the communication channel. This is Captain Maya Chen of the Human Federation ship Vindicator. Your vessels are currently held in our gravity containment field. They are unharmed, but they cannot move or fire weapons. She paused, letting the implications sink in. We have disabled your ships without firing a single shot to demonstrate the simple truth. You have never known our true capabilities. The Vex Admiral's face appeared on screen, mandibles clicking in agitation. This is an act of war, human. The Galactic Conclave will. The Conclave, Maya interrupted, has been summoned to witness demonstrations similar to this one across the galaxy. Your attack on our Helix 9 research station violated 27 separate treaties. There will be no more warnings. She signaled to Raman, who activated the ship's main systems. The Vindicator began to glow with blue energy as its true power signature was revealed for the first time. Sensors detect multiple ships entering the system, Dias reported. Galactic Conclave observation vessels. Perfect timing, Maya said. The other demonstrations must be proceeding as planned. Release the Vex vessels. The gravity fields dissipated, leaving the alien ships drifting but operational. This was merely a demonstration, she informed the Vex Admiral. Your ships are undamaged. You are free to return to your orbital stations, but be advised, any aggressive action will be met with a proportional response. The Human Federation is transmitting new diplomatic terms to your government as we speak. She cut the transmission before the Admiral could respond. Set course for the rendezvous point, she ordered. Phase 1 complete. As the Vindicator and its escort fleet engaged their Hermes drives, preparing to vanish from the Vex system as quickly as they had appeared. Maya allowed herself a small smile of satisfaction. The emergency session of the Galactic Conclave was unlike any in its 5,000-year history. Representatives from all 42 member species had gathered in the Great Hall on Nexus Prime, but the usual decorum was notably absent. Voices were raised. Accusations flew. Fear, an emotion rarely displayed in these chambers, was palpable. In the center of it all stood Admiral Santiago, Earth's representative, flanked by Maya, and two other human officers. The holographic displays surrounding them showed footage from Operation Starfall. Human ships neutralizing Vex, Mithridian, and Onteri military vessels without firing a single shot. Quantum shields absorbing weapon fire that should have vaporized them. Hermes drives allowing human fleets to appear and disappear from systems before defensive measures could be coordinated. "This is outrageous," bellowed the Vex High Chancellor, his massive form towering over the diplomatic podium. "Humans have concealed military capabilities in direct violation of Conclave transparency laws." Santiago's expression remained impassive. "We concealed nothing that was specifically asked of us. We merely allowed certain assumptions to persist." "You deliberately missiled the Conclave," insisted the Mithridian ambassador. "Did we?" Santiago raised an eyebrow. "When we joined the Conclave, we were told our technology was primitive. When we tried to contribute, we were dismissed. When we sought protection under Conclave law, we were ignored. Why would we reveal our advancements to those who consistently underestimated us?" The Onteri representative, her crystalline form shimmering with agitation, spoke next. "Regardless of past misunderstandings, these demonstrations were acts of aggression. The Onteri Collective demands sanctions against Earth." Santiago's laugh was cold. "Sanctions? You speak of sanctions after 90 years of treating humanity as second-class citizens, after ignoring 23 violations of our territorial rights, after dismissing the destruction of Helix 9 as an unfortunate incident." He stepped forward, his voice carrying through the vast chamber without the need for amplification. "Let me be absolutely clear. Humanity is not seeking war. We could have inflicted devastating damage during our demonstrations, but we chose restraint. No lives were lost. No ships were destroyed. We simply showed you what we are capable of." The Grand Arbiter of the Conclave, an ancient Tekkan whose species had been among the founders of the Galactic government, raised a gnarled hand for silence. "What does Earth want?" the Arbiter asked, cutting through the rhetoric to the heart of the matter. Santiago nodded, appreciating the directness. "Equal standing in the Conclave, reparations for past violations of our rights, recognition of our expanded colonial territories, a complete revision of defensive treaties to acknowledge humanity's capacity to contribute to galactic security." "Impossible," the Vex Chancellor snarled. "You cannot simply demand." "We're not demanding," Santiago interrupted. "We're negotiating. From a position of strength, yes, but still negotiating. The alternative." He let the implication hang in the air. The Arbiter studied him for a long moment. "You have demonstrated impressive technological capabilities, Admiral, but the Conclave has existed for millennia. We have faced challenges before." "Not like this," Maya said, speaking for the first time. All eyes turned to her. "You've never faced a species that hid its true nature so completely. How can you be certain what else we might have developed?" She nodded to a human technician, who activated a new holographic display. The image showed what appeared to be a small satellite, no larger than a shuttle, orbiting a distant, uninhabited planet. "This is Prometheus Station," Maya explained, "a human research facility in a system you don't know about. What you're about to see was recorded 3 months ago during a controlled test." The footage continued. The small station emitted a focused beam of energy toward the planet. Where the beam struck, the planet's surface began to change. Atmospheric composition shifting, temperature altering, geological features rearranging. "Planetary engineering," Maya said simply. We can terraform a world in months rather than centuries. We can also, if necessary, do the opposite. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. "That's impossible," whispered the Mithridian ambassador, but there was doubt in his voice. "We've had 90 years to develop in secret," Santiago said. 90 years of being underestimated and ignored. We've made the most of that time." The Arbiter's ancient eyes narrowed. "Are you threatening the Conclave, Admiral?" "No," Santiago replied calmly. "I'm explaining why you should take our proposals seriously. Humanity wants peace, but a just peace. Equality, not subservience. Respect, not condescension." He handed a data crystal to the Arbiter. "Our terms. We expect a response within 24 standard hours." With that, the human delegation turned and left the chamber, leaving stunned silence in their wake. 3 days later, Maya stood beside Santiago on the observation deck of Earth's Orbital Command, watching the newly installed Aegis defense platforms coming online. Below them, the blue-green planet continued its eternal rotation, unaware of how drastically its position in the galaxy had changed. "The Conclave accepted our terms," Santiago said, breaking the comfortable silence. "All of them." Maya nodded. She'd expected nothing less after the demonstrations. "And the Vex? They've agreed to full reparations for Helix 9. Their High Chancellor will personally deliver a formal apology to the families of the victims." "It won't bring them back." "No," Santiago agreed softly. "It won't, but it might prevent the next tragedy." Maya gazed out at the stars. The same stars that had witnessed humanity's long struggle for recognition. "Do you think they'll ever trust us again?" Santiago considered the question. "Trust requires honesty, and we've been anything but honest for 30 years. We did what was necessary." "Yes," he acknowledged. "But necessity and virtue aren't always the same thing. We've gained the Conclave's respect, possibly their fear. Trust will take longer." A comm unit beeped, and Santiago checked the message. "The Tekken diplomatic vessel has entered orbit. The Arbiter is ready to sign the new charter." Maya straightened her uniform. "A new era begins." Indeed, Santiago's expression was thoughtful. "The question is, what kind of era will it be? Will we use our newfound position to build a better galaxy, or will we become what we once despised?" Maya had no answer for that. Only time would tell what humanity would do with its place among the stars, a place no longer granted by the condescension of others, but claimed by humanity's own strength and determination. As they turned to leave, Maya cast one last glance at the starfield beyond the viewport. The galaxy looked the same as it always had, but everything had changed. The stars burned with the same ancient light, but now they burned in the wake of humanity's rise. The day had finally come when humanity said enough, and the stars would never forget.